It's been 15 years since Jesus went home. The church has blossomed in his absence, but it desperately needs direction. We have the Old Testament, but we don't have any new revelation for this new age. We don't know what the Christian life should look like. We've forgotten a lot of what Jesus said. We need someone to remind us. We need some kind of fundamentals of the faith. We need the wisdom of Christ. To the Jewish Christians around the world, you should be rejoicing that life is hard right now because God is using it to grow you. But instead, you doubt what God is doing. You're like a wave in the ocean pushed around by the wind. You crave prosperity when really you should value adversity. You think God is tempting you when really you're tempted by your own desires. You simply fail to see God's good hand in all your suffering. It's time to start listening to God and living out what He says. After all, that's what true religion's all about. That also means you have to stop playing favorites at church, because that's a direct violation of the new law of Christ. It shows that the faith you claim to have is not really faith at all, because real faith always leads to works. But the only thing that can keep your works under control is your tongue. Yet even this has been compromised. Your tongue's like a wildfire that cannot be contained. It's burning your relationships to the ground. Where did it all go wrong? I'll tell you, your heart is full of worldly wisdom. Jealousy and selfish ambition run your lives. That's not God's wisdom, that's man's. God's wisdom is untainted in every way. Haven't you ever wondered why you argue all the time? It's the sinful pleasures in your heart that always get in the way. Until you deal with them, you are putting yourself in God's crosshairs. But there is so much grace waiting for you. Humble yourself, and He will restore you. Only then can you control your tongue and stop slandering other people. It's not your job anyways to play judge, jury, and executioner. And only then can you put faith into practice by no longer making hasty plans. You don't know the future, so roll with whatever God decides for your life. And only then can you stop playing favorites when you learn the destiny of the rich. Those who rob the poor share the exact same fate as their money. And only then can you live out what God says by exercising patience. It takes patience to be a farmer. It took patience to be a prophet. You too can be patient. And only then can you stop doubting and turn to God in prayer. Whether times are good or times are bad, before God is where you should be. And now that you've come full circle, turn to your neighbor and help him do the same, because the very fate of his soul could be at stake.